We have a development in Telford. In the last 10 days, what have you seen? Since my promo went out on Telford, what have you seen? You've seen 6 cars firebombed. I'm not saying every one of them is 100% linked to victims or survivors, but mine was one of them. Another survivor's was one of them. In the same period, in a 2-day period, we see a survivor's mother's house attacked and smashed to pieces twice in 3 days. We've seen the police fail to act, fail to remove a family from their home. This is when it started. We've then seen a woman beaten up with baseball bats in her car by a gang of 10 to 12 armed Muslims. And finally, after all of this, the police have started making arrests. Who do you think they've arrested? That's right, they've arrested one of my team. They have arrested the first arrest, even though we know there's DNA evidence on the attack against the car, even though I know they've left evidence at the scene when they've blown my car up, because the police have already told me that. Yeah. Even though that, the first arrest is one of my team. One of our surveillance guys has been arrested under the charge of harassment. He is alleged, let me tell you who he was surveillancing. Yeah? He was surveillancing a man who we have 100% evidence impregnated a child. That's who he was surveillancing. We were attempting to locate people, which has been what this man has been doing. He locates people, he finds them, he gives us back images of where they are. Now, when they've arrested him, twice, I have gone into West Mercia Police and asked to speak to Inspector Rob Rondell and tell them that I have information to give them. Twice, yeah? I've gone into the police station twice. I've left my phone number and I've asked to be contacted by Rob Rondell. I can't hand this information, which is from delicate sources who are scared, vulnerable and worried. I've attempted to meet with the police to give them information. I was on my way to go to the police station again, and I went to the services to meet my friend who has been doing surveillance work. Now, when my other friend, because there was a few of us meeting there, when my other friend pulled in, he rang me and said, "Tom, there's police all over here. They're nicking our mate." And so I didn't pull into the car park, and I've now gone somewhere where I won't be found. I've gone somewhere I won't be found because there's certain other developments as well. But the police, I've attempted to meet the police multiple times. I've got video footage to show you that I've been into the police station asking to give information, valuable information about recent attacks, valuable information about drug gangs operating in the town, about prostitution of children. I want to give the information to the police, to the senior police officer who deals with these gangs, not to any fucking Tom, Dick and Abdul, because anyone, we know that there are definitely allegations of corruption aimed at that police force and members of it. Yeah. So this can't just be handed to anyone. There's people whose lives will be put in danger with this information. But they've arrested our colleague. They've seized his van, his surveillance van, seized his phone, seized his computer, seized all of his equipment, okay, and bailed him. Guess what his bail conditions are? Not to enter Shropshire. Who are the police working for? To serve and to protect. Who are you serving and who are you protecting? Who are you protecting by preventing our surveillance guy from following? Now, as a journalist, and it's in the public's interest, don't care what anyone says, this work we're doing is in the public's interest. There are serious allegations of corruption, serious allegations of rape, serious allegations of threats to kill, and the men that we were surveillancing, these allegations are against. Now, you ain't doing your job. You haven't done your job. These men are walking around, rolling around the street, blowing stuff up, attacking people, and these groups and gangs are, and you haven't done your job. And I've also found out, and we've also found out that Mohammed Akanji has been in talks and meetings with some of the men alleged to have committed rapes. So you can bet your life, and from what we understand is they're attempting to find legal ways to prevent this film being aired. Right now, the location I'm at, you can't do that. You can't do it. Yeah? I knew this would come. I knew, you all knew, every one of you knew the police would try to prevent this. It cannot now be prevented. It can't. You might have arrested one of our team. You've given him bail conditions preventing him from continuing his work. Yeah? I don't know under what grounds you'll be able to arrest me, but I guess you will. And on what grounds you'll be able to give to prevent this film being aired. The problem we have is there's a lot of work still to be done. This series, it can go out. It's finished, yeah? It's finished. I'll let you all know. I'll give you an update of at what time and when I'll next be attempting to make an approach to Rob Rondell to give him information. And if they're not playing ball with wanting information and their whole motive is to arrest and stop what we're doing, I'll live stream it for all of you. But at that same time, there will be instructions given to air the film the minute I'm arrested. So the film will go live on here and across the internet, specifically on Getter, exclusively to Getter at first. So just keep tuned. We were doing the final little finishes to the film. Obviously, we put the promo out. I'm now in a location where I can't be. We've got 4,000 people watching live. That's a good audience. If you're watching this, share this. If you can offer any... So our lad now who does our surveillance can't even work. He obviously does this job for other people, yeah? I hire him in. I hire him in to do surveillance work, to locate people, to find people, to photograph people, to get me the information I need to go after these men, to be in a safe space to do so. I need to give these men a right to reply. Yeah, I need to give them a right to reply. I'm not knocking on any house doors with innocent family members in it, and I'm not falling foul of the law. Okay, so I just want to approach them in the street and talk to them. Give them a right to reply, let them answer their questions. But the main part of this story is the first arrest they've made, it's one of our team. The people investigating the alleged paedophile gangs are the ones that Telford police are deciding to arrest and give conditions preventing them from doing. The conditions actually prevent him from doing any more investigation for anyone, because they've seized all the vehicle. They've seized the vehicle. They've seized his cameras, his phones. So, is anything other than what we expected? Probably not. No, but that's why I'm in a location that I can't be held. You can't give me no court order. You can't get me into a court. Yeah, not before the film goes live. Film's going live. I'm debating at the minute whether to put the film live sooner. No matter what as well, so you all understand, no matter what happens, on the 29th of this month at 2 p.m, every one of you who can needs to be in Telford. The line in the sand has been drawn and Telford is our town, okay? We will continue in Telford because there is so much more to expose. Obviously, I've got Series 1, which you're going to watch. You have no idea what I've got for Series 2, 3 and 4. You will not believe the stories I've got, the corruption allegations we've got, the evidence we've got of police failures to do their job, unwilling to do their job, as you've all seen in the last 7 days. You have witnessed it firsthand. The allegations that I had have been played out right in front of every single one of us. People left purposely in danger. The public, you, us, you guys supporting it, having to come to their need. Us having to relocate families. Do you know now, the family that were relocated, that we relocated? The family are now the council are refusing to house the daughter, saying she can go back to Telford. There's no immediate threat against her. You couldn't make it up. We've had to again, sod the council, we've had to again house that family for another week in a hotel. That's only thanks to you guys, or that family will be right now in danger again. They can't go back to Telford. None of them can go back to Telford. You have gangs operating who are armed, who are firebombing things, and who are threatening to kill and murder people. And part of these gangs and other gangs have already murdered in that town multiple girls. But that's my little rant over. I'm giving you an update. The update is they're arresting our team. They're trying to prevent it. But what have we been saying? Nothing can stop what is coming. Whether it comes before the 29th, if it has to, it will. Yeah. But on the 29th, be there. If I'm not there, if I'm prevented from being there, if I'm arrested and prevented from being there, every single one of you still turn up to show them that the show still goes on. Yeah, I am dedicated to giving these girls a voice and a platform who have been ignored and failed by the system, by the police, by social services, by everyone who should support and protect these girls. Everyone. When you see the courage of this girl telling her story and you realise there's more in order, lining up, ready to do so, I've been contacted by more and more girls with allegations of victims against the 3 men that I put out. This is why reporting restrictions should not be in place on any of these trials. Because once you start publicly naming them and showing who they are, which unfortunately our journalists don't wait outside courtrooms to photograph these men, but when the story starts going live, like my promo did, a 2-minute promo, 3 more victims of that gang from a 2-minute promo. If the BBC aired this film, how many more of their victims would come forward, which would make the police's job easier to bring about prosecutions, but they don't want to bring about prosecutions. And I saw Scar Studio done a piece on me, and they on our promo, which I'm just grateful they're talking about the issue. I don't care what they say about me or if they try and slam me down. I'll correct a few of the wrongs. I wasn't sent to prison when I was highlighting outside a court case. I was sent to prison for causing alarm and distress to the rapists. That's it. For asking them how they felt about their verdict. Everything I said was already in the public domain. I'm just grateful that you're showing and you're talking about these cases in this town. Yeah, people are saying you shouldn't name the men. Why shouldn't we name the men? Police aren't bringing prosecutions. They're talking about this, their allegations. I make clear their allegations. I contact the men for a right to reply. They also are on about the Evershed, the independent investigation into Telford grooming gangs. It says on their website, it is not about bringing justice. None of it is about bringing justice. It's not about bringing arrests. It's about raising awareness. These girls want justice. They want the men prosecuted. If I can do a shoestring investigation and I can find multiple girls willing to name the same men doing the same crime, how have you not got them in court? How are they not being prosecuted? If you have a 100% DNA match on a rapist of a 13-year-old child, how is he not in court? Let the jury decide. Don't let you decide or some corrupt Crown Prosecution Service. Let the British public decide on the guilt of these men. You'll decide after watching our film. I'm sure many of you will make your mind up on what's gone on. But the film's going ahead. Quick update from me. 6,000 people watching live. Share this everywhere. Anyone who does want to support our work, which we've got ongoing work, just so you understand even the surveillance of these men, the money it's costing. I want to produce series 1 to the public and say, here's what we can do. Now let us go and let us give every one of these victims a voice. Let us tell their stories. Let us show you who failed them. Let us show you. And yes, the police won't want this. And yes, and the government won't want this because it's going to embarrass them. Because at fault of most of this is people who are paid to protect. And they have not done it. At fault of most of it. So please give this a share. Please show us support. Please make sure that we're in a position, I'm in a position to confidently tell these girls, if there's problems, we'll help you. Yeah? If there's problems, we'll help you. I am aware we're going to have to move more families already, from what I'm hearing. The police have actually this last 3 days, been going in and relocating other families who they now know are in danger. Maybe British journalists don't go after these gangs because of the problems that come. Maybe they don't want their cars blown up. Maybe they don't want the threats to murder. Maybe they don't want any of this. But these girls have been willing, and I've asked each one of these survivors, would you be willing to go to court for this? Yes, but we don't feel safe. That's your job to the police, to make sure these girls are safe. But you haven't. You've let these gangs run terror in your town, and they continue to. And then all you're doing is arresting people like us. So everyone just keep following. I'll give you an update. That happened not yesterday, a day before. I've got myself to a location where I'll be okay for the time being until everything's ready to drop. And I need to make a decision whether to just put the film out or still hold fire for the 29th. But no matter what, it's going out. So, and there ain't no court order or no arrest that's going to stop it. Because the minute I'm arrested, it goes live. See you later. So there, everyone. And thank you if you've supported us, if you've travelled, if you've gone to Telford, if you're planning on coming to Telford on the 29th, make your plans. I thank you. We must cause now, for this summer, momentum, a movement again, a movement of patriots who are willing not just to take to the streets and march, but to, when they need to step up and serve and protect fellow patriots or victims or families, they're willing to do so. So give us our support. We've got plans.